Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name's Rachel. If you're new to my channel, welcome and thanks for joining me. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do this snowflake granny square. It looks quite difficult, but it is actually very easy to make. I've got some Christmas craft wool. It's an 8-ply or double knit. And I'm using my 3.5mm crochet hook. So let's get started making the snowflake. So with my white yarn, I'm going to make a magic circle. So make a slip knot and chain 4. And then I'm going to slip stitch into this first chain, and that just makes the magic circle. Then I'm going to chain 2, and I'll work 1 double crochet into the middle of the circle. And then chain 2, and then we're going to make a double crochet cluster stitch. So to make one of those, we'll yarn over, hook into the middle of the circle and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, and you'll leave that loop on your hook. Then yarn over into the circle, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2. So now you have 3 loops on your hook, and then we'll yarn over and pull through the whole 3. So that's a double crochet cluster stitch, and then we'll chain 2, and then we're going to repeat making these cluster stitches. So yarn over into the middle of the circle, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over into the circle, pull through, yarn over and pull through the first 2, so you've got 3 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the 3. Now we want a total of 8 of these clusters. We'll chain 2 and we'll make another cluster. So we've got 4 so far. Then chain 2 and make another cluster. That's 5, and chain 2, and we'll make another cluster. That's 6, chain 2, That's 7, chain 2 and 1 more cluster. Okay, so that should be 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to slip stitch into this first chain or first cluster or double crochet we made, and that just closes the circle. So that's our first part done. So our next round we're going to slip stitch into this first chain 2 space, and that just takes our yarn over to that space, and then we'll chain 2, and we're going to do 1 double crochet into this space, and then we're going to chain 2, and into the same space we're going to make a double crochet cluster. So that's yarn over through the gap, pull through the first 2, yarn over through the gap, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2. So you've got 3 loops, and then yarn over, pull through the 3. So we'll do the same into this space. We'll chain 2, and we're going to make a double crochet cluster. And chain 2, and make another double crochet cluster into the same gap. So we've made 2 double crochet clusters into that gap, and we'll do that into every gap around the circle. So chain 2, double crochet cluster, and chain 2, and into the next gap the same, double crochet cluster, chain 2, and another double crochet cluster, and chain 2, and then a double crochet cluster, chain 2, double crochet cluster into the next gap, and chain 2, and the same in the next gap, and chain 2, and the same into the next gap, double crochet cluster, chain 2, double crochet cluster, And then we've come back to the first part, and we're going to undo, and into this gap here we'll make another 2 double crochet clusters. And then we'll chain 2, and we're going to slip stitch into this first double crochet we made. There we go. And that's our next part done. So our next round we'll slip stitch into this first chain 2 space to move our yarn. And we'll chain 2, and into this space here we'll make 1 double crochet, and chain 3, and we'll make a double crochet cluster into this space. And chain 2, and into this next space we're going to make a single crochet, and we'll chain 2, and into this next space we're going to make 1 double crochet cluster, and chain 3, and make another double crochet cluster into that same gap, and see we've made a little pointed clusters. And chain 2, and into this next gap we will do a single crochet, and we'll chain 2, into our next gap we'll do 1 double crochet cluster, chain 3, and 1 double crochet cluster all into that same gap. So 1 double crochet cluster, 3, and another double crochet cluster. Into our next gap we'll chain 2 and do 1 single crochet, and then we'll chain 2, and into our next gap 1 double crochet cluster, chain 3, 1 double crochet cluster, and chain 3, and 1 double crochet cluster. Oops. And then we'll chain 2, and our next gap we'll do a single crochet, and then chain 2, and next gap we'll do 1 double crochet cluster, chain 3, 1 double crochet cluster, and then chain 3, and 1 double crochet cluster. And then chain 2. Into our next gap we'll do 1 single crochet and chain 2. Our next gap, 1 double crochet cluster, chain 3, 1 double crochet cluster. Then chain 2 and 1 single crochet into the next gap, chain 2 and repeat the double crochet clusters, chain 3 double crochet cluster. And then we'll chain 2 and 1 single crochet into the next gap and chain 2 and our double crochet cluster, chain 3 double crochet cluster. And then chain 2 and 1 single crochet into the next gap and chain 2 and we'll slip stitch into the first double crochet that we made. And we've completed that round. So our next round will be the last round we do for the snowflake, and that's making the little points on the ends of these parts here. So we'll slip stitch into this chain 3 part to move our yarn, and we're going to chain 2. And we're going to make 1 double crochet into this chain 3 space, and chain 1, and we're going to make a double crochet cluster all into the same space. And now we're going to make the point. So it's called a picket stitch. And how do you do that? Well, we'll chain 3. And we're going to slip stitch into this stitch here. So all you need to do is take your hook and go through to the back of that stitch. So I've gone through the middle, and then pull the yarn through. And you might need to just grab that so you can slip stitch it into that stitch. So that's all you need to do to make the little point, and I'll do that again. So it's chain 3. And we're going to slip stitch, so through this stitch here into the back, and pull our yarn through and through there, and it just makes the little point on the end of the snowflake. And then we'll chain 1 and we'll make another double crochet cluster into that same space. that's our little point there, and chain 2. Now into these next 2 gaps we're going to single crochet into each gap. So 1 and 2, and we'll chain 2, and into this gap we're going to make 1 double crochet cluster, and chain 1 and make another double crochet cluster, and then we're going to do our picket stitch, so chain 3 and slip stitch into this stitch, and it's just made the little hook on the end, and then chain 1 and we'll make another double crochet cluster into this gap, there we go, and then we'll chain 2. The next 2 gaps will single crochet, and then we'll repeat chain 2, make a double crochet cluster into this gap, chain 1 and make another double crochet cluster, and then we'll do our picket stitch, so 1, chain 3 and slip stitch into that base of that stitch, chain 1 and make another double crochet cluster, and chain 2. The next 2 gaps will be single crochets, and then chain 2, and then we're going to repeat that around the rest of these gaps, and I'll keep working on that and I'll come back to you when I'm finished. So I've come to the end and I've chained 2 after my single crochets, and I'm just going to slip stitch up in the first double crochet we made, and that's our snowflake done. So now we'll go on to the part where we make the border around the snowflake. So now we're going to swap the colour for the square, and I'm going to use a green colour, and you can fasten off the white colour and chain 1. Just pull that tighter. And in this first chain 1 space we're going to do 2 double crochets, and then we're going to push this little bit forward, and in the next chain 1 space make 2 double crochets, and just push that forward. In this next chain 2 space we'll make 1 double crochet, And then we're going to make a long double crochet, and it's going to be in between this stitch here, so 2 rows below. And it's just like a normal double crochet, but we're just going to pull the yarn up a bit so it's longer. So it's just a normal double crochet, but you're pulling the yarn up. And we're going to do 2 of those into the same stitch. There we have that. And then the next chain 2 space we'll do 1 double crochet. In our next chain 1 space we'll do 2 double crochets. And then we'll try and push that forward in the next space 2 double crochets. Our next chain 2 space will be 1 double crochet. And then we'll do another 2 long double crochets in between the stitch 2 rows below. And then the next chain 2 space will be 1 double crochet. Our next chain 1 space will be 2 double crochets. And then our next chain 1 space will be 2 double crochets. Just poke that forward. The next chain 2 space will be 1 double crochet. And then 2 long double crochets. And then 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets into the next 2 spaces. Just poke that one forward, then 1 double crochet, and then 2 long double crochets, and then 1 double crochet into the next 2 gaps, 2 double crochets, then 1 double crochet and 2 long double crochets and 1 double crochet. and 1 double crochet, and then 1 long double crochet, and then 1 double crochet, and we'll slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet. And that's our first part of our border. So we've got 2 rounds left to do. So in this round we're going to make the corners. So chain 1, actually, let's start again, chain 1, and we're going to single crochet into the next 4 stitches. And then we're going to do double crochet into the next 6 stitches. And now we're going to make our first corner. So in this gap here we're going to make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. So 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, all into that one space. And then we've created a corner. Now we're going to double crochet into the next 6 stitches. And then single crochet into the next 4 stitches. And then we're going to double crochet into the next 6 stitches. And then we'll make another corner into this gap. So 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Chain 2. And that's made our second corner. And then we'll double crochet into the next 6 stitches. and then single crochet into the next 4 stitches, and double crochet into the next 6 stitches, and then we'll do our 3rd corner, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and then we'll double crochet into the next 6 stitches, and single crochet into the next 4 stitches, and double crochet into the next 6 stitches, and then we'll make our last corner, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and then we'll double crochet into the last 6 stitches. And then we'll slip stitch into the first double crochet we made. And you might just have to stretch it out a little bit. So our last round we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do double crochets into every stitch until we get to the corner. And our corner will be 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, then double crochet in every stitch down to the corner, and repeat till we get back to the start. So double crochet into every stitch, I'll just do the first till we get to the corner. So now we've come to the corner, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. And then double crochets all along every stitch till the next corner. So when I got to the end, I slip stitched into the first double crochet and fastened off my yarn and just weave that tail of yarn in so you can't see it. And that's our completed granny square. They're lovely for Christmas time. You can make all sorts of things with these squares. Hope you enjoyed the video and found it easy to follow. Please remember to like, share and subscribe so I can grow my channel. Thank you.